Welcome to Go Guess Podcast, where we helping to say to your producer. I am Colby.
And I'm Fui Coco, but you can call me Fee.
Who? What?
Fui Coco. The Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon?
The Apple Dragon.
Oh,
From
the dumb one with the big open mouth.
Yeah, I like that guy.
I just thought I'd mention a Pokemon I like when we start off the show.
It's not even that. It's because a day or two, maybe something else. I saw an animation. It's so funny. It's like this guy and this girl like fighting, and he throws out Pikachu and she throws out Fui Coco, and then she's like Fui Coco, do it, and he's like Fui Coco, and she's like, oh okay, you can go ahead. She's like, hey, my Pokemon needs to go take a shit. And so like it goes to a bush and they're talking, and then he's done. He pops his hat out and she's like, oh, you done? Fui Coco, wipe your ass, like calls it out like a move, and then he doesn't. The guy's like, you tell your Pokemon to wipe your ass? She's like, yeah, if you don't tell them to do something, they won't do it. And then like he freaks out and he's like, Pikachu, you haven't been wiping your ass? It's so good. I'll share it with you.
I'm really glad that this started off with you explaining a video you watched.
It's what I'm best at.
That's me, Mr. React, they call me.
Who's a popular React streamer?
XQC now.
Okay, I was gonna say Jinx, but I'm pulling like a fucking age thing.
Yeah, Ray William Johnson.
Like the guy who created YouTube when he posted a picture of the zoo.
Yeah,
the video.
The guy from America's Funniest Home Videos, him.
Bob Saget?
Bob Saget, reactionary YouTuber.
I mean, really, he's a pioneer. He fucking pioneered the path. He crawled so we could run. And let me tell you, I fucking love America's Home Videos. Only back then, and that kind of, God, I didn't even, man, you brought it up, and now I'm just like, man, watching people's fucking videos on TV is such a precursor to me loving YouTube so much.
Yeah, dude.
And I didn't even know. And like,
the thing is, like, at the time I was like, this is the best thing ever. These are like, it's actual videos of stuff happening, and it's, oh God, it's so funny. And then whenever I became an adult and I watched it again, especially after YouTube, I was like, oh, I forgot that Bob Saget does his funny little voices on top of every video, and I hate it.
No, I love that. He's basically doing what Twitch does. Are like people who fucking commentate on videos when they're like streaming.
Yeah.
And dude, America's Homemade Videos had such a banger intro. It was so good.
Yeah, no, the intro was fire. That's undeniable. Yeah. But Bob Saget had two modes, right? He has the one mode where he's just like, oh, this guy's about to have a really bad day. Oh, like just like, you know, being sort of a commentator. But then the other one was like when he got into character as somebody in the video, and then he always made sure that they had a voice where he's like, oh, I'm gonna hit my dad in the balls. Oh, boink.
Here comes your mom. Hope she doesn't trip on this glass. Just fucking, he has this high-pitched voice.
Oh boy, where did I drop that knife? Oh, there it goes. Oh, now my blood's everywhere. Oh.
Oh, well, hope I win $10,000 on AMV. Dude, I stopped watching after Bob Saget stopped being the host. Because then it was Carlton for a while. I forget his names. Ricardo Spoons or whatever his name is.
Ricardo Spoons. I think it's Alfonso Riviera. Is that it?
Yeah. I was close. He was on the show like Spoons.
I'm sorry. Where did you get Spoons from?
He was, before Fresh Prince, he was on, what was it, Silver Spoons or something?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I'm not stupid. Alfonso Riviera.
It's
Oh,
with a
it's
B.
Ribeiro. It's Ribeiro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ribeiro. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
What did I say? I didn't say
Alonso
anything.
Riviera. That's the guy.
I'm thinking of the Riviera. Let's see. He Silver Spoons. Yeah, I
Okay,
was
yeah,
right,
you
dude.
got it.
That's where spoons came from.
All right, fair enough. I did not know he was on that show, and I guess your brain is structured in a way that I can't perceive.
No one can, not even me. But I don't. Where did I even learn that fact?
Yeah,
I don't
good
know.
question.
I've never even seen that show. I've only heard that he was on it, and I don't even remember where I heard it from. But I guess I don't know. That's just how, like you said, that's just how my brain's structured. Like I'll hear something, and then I'll just randomly remember it, and it'll come back later in like random conversation, much like this is on our podcast, which you can catch on Twitch or watch on YouTube. Eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
That a call to action?
This is your daily reminder that you need to go and check us out at youtube.com/@gogaspodcast and twitch.tv/gogaspod.
Yeah, do that. Kobe, you still sound sick.
Oh, I'm not. I'm having to talk I'm having to talk really quiet. Inside baseball here. We're recording sort of late at night, and unfortunately my son is still awake, and my office is about 12 feet from his bed. So I have to be loud enough to where I'm audible, but quiet enough to where he's not going to be like, "Hey, is there someone out there? What are you doing? Hey, Dada."
You should just put a blanket over you, and
honestly, I have a solution specced out. All I have to do is sew these two moving blankets together and then like put some Velcro around my door, and I think that will do it. But I just
son
haven't
is
done it
awake.
yet.
Son is awake. Office is agape.
That's that's the motto of the house. Absolutely.
That's yeah. So I thought you were just sick, or you had like peanut butter in your mouth. You were talking real low.
Yeah, no, that's I do sometimes like to pretend like I'm Mr. Ed. So you're totally right to be suspecting that.
Our kids in the audience don't know who Mr. Ed is, but it's fine. They can Google
Don't
him.
worry about it. This joke is not worth your time. Don't Google
it. He's a horse. He's a talking horse. Oh God, they treated him so badly. What do we want to talk about first, Colby? I see you wrote down Abaturd. Oh, okay, I get it.
There you go.
I was like, the band?
That's the thing is we both were excited about the live action Avatar coming out, and it has, I think the first batch of episodes is out.
Well, it's the first season, the entire first season.
And I haven't watched it.
I've seen it all.
But
I've seen it all.
I'm gonna be questioning you. I'm gonna be getting inside your head about Avatar, Fee.
Ooh. All right. Well, fucking hit me. Let me get my question gip suit on.
I gotta squeeze it in there.
Yeah, I gotta get my leather thinking jock. So what do you want to know first?
So, there's a couple of things. Let's start very broad. Overall, how'd you like it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it over One Piece live action.
Really? Okay.
One Piece live action right now is the gold standard, and I think Avatar is about a 7, and One Piece is like a 10. If we're doing Netflix live action adaptations. Like I said, One Piece is gold standard 10.
Okay.
I'd say Avatar's a 7. It's good, not great, but not bad. Not bad. There was things I liked in the live action that I thought were better than the show, and there was a lot of things in the show that I thought were better than the live action.
Interesting. Okay. That was actually that answers most of my questions. Because the next question was going to be what's better, this or live action One Piece, and then the third question was going to be what's better, this or the cartoon. And it sounds like the cartoon and this both have things that they did better, so that's good.
Yeah. And like I saw the whole show and I was like, fuck, this is good. I was like, I wonder how everyone else is like. This was like day 2 of the show being out, so I'm sure like everyone had seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I go like to Twitter. I'm like, oh, what does everyone think? Everyone's like shitting on it. I was like, did we watch the same show?
Man,
and
that's the worst feeling. You're like, did I miss something?
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was good. There was like Katara was probably she's better than the movie. Everyone's like, oh, the fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie's so good. It's fucking better. I'm like, well, did we see the same thing, bro? I'm like, they weren't even color coordinated. They had wrong names in the movie.
Yeah.
In the show, like they had like the colors. They looked like the characters. Like I said, they're kid actors. Katara
Mm-hmm.
was like, I guess the worst offender. Because like she just kind of comes off as like, not like dead, but her fucking the way she talks is kind of like, she didn't have a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing with the waterbenders. The waterbending, the graphics overall look pretty like really good.
Okay.
The waterbending was the worst. Not that it looked bad, but it just looked weak.
Okay.
Like she would hit people with water whips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like someone off screen was just throwing a bucket of water at the people. It didn't look like it. It didn't look like it hurt. It just looked like it annoyed them.
Katara, quit it.
Yeah, for real. They changed some things. Like, of course, they kind of they like combined some stuff. They sped it up. Like they cut out filler.
Sure.
Aang was all right. I think he looked good. I think he was fine, but like he's a kid actor, so his delivery was kind of like sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hard to like, especially whenever you have a whole cast of kid actors. It's really hard to get it to where every kid is really good. You tend to always have one kid where you're like, okay. Yeah,
I would say the kid who did Aang did better than Katara.
Okay.
They kind of completely wrote their romance out of like season 1 of like Aang kind of pining for Katara.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old Sokka is, like the actor for the show, because like Katara looks like she's, I don't know, 15, like in the cartoon. Aang looks like he's 12. Sokka looks like he's 25.
Yeah, he's 36 years old.
And he has fucking the just pointiest face. He has the sharpest face and the biggest chin.
Yeah.
And like no lips.
He's got really, really angular features.
It was so, I don't want to say off-putting, but it was so distracting. Every time he's on screen, you see him, I'm like, oh, like what's wrong with your face, mate? Just like, I'm sorry to say that. It's just like, I gotta apologize
to our editor. You're like, oh god, I can't ever do an English accent again without apologizing. I'm so sorry.
I like it. I like Zeta a whole lot. I don't want his feelings to be hurt. I don't think he holds it against us. He probably just like, God, there they go again. But yeah, no, Sokka was fine. I know I complained about it, and I text Colby that night. I was like, all right, you can get it out right now. But I like the show, and I like fucking Sokka's character's fine. And he let me have it a little bit.
I did say that's right. Fuck you, I believe.
Yeah, you said good. Fuck you.
Like, the thing is, I was so after the show came out, so I spent a lot of time on Reddit, and so far the largest complaint that has really come up in my like Reddit feed, because I don't subscribe to specific subs. I just look at the popular feed because I'm a monster.
Yeah.
And so the thing that's come up the most is somebody, and I'm interested to hear what your take on this is. Somebody was like, yeah, I think we were all duped whenever they said that they made Sokka less sexist, because we thought that they were going to change Sokka's character such that he said less sexist things. However, what I would argue that they actually did is they made Katara less bossy and motherly, and that way, and strong as a character. So Sokka rarely comes into conflict with her, and so he doesn't have the chance to be sexist anymore. And I was like, huh, well, that sucks. And so everybody that I've seen, like the few Reddit posts that I've seen, everybody is like, God, Katara's just so boring and stoic and like not emotional now, and it's stupid. Like season 1 Katara is like kind of all over the place, and somebody was like, yeah, this seems like the Ember Island players version of Katara. Like,
yeah, damn, I no, not even that, because in the players in that episode, they had her like happy and cheerful like all the fucking time. That was like her thing. But like in the show, Katara, she was just kind of there. I wouldn't even say stoic. She was just there. And I don't want to say she didn't have like character. She just kind of, God, there's like she was just there.
Yeah. I like the vibe that I'm getting is either that like she seems like Kristen Stewart in Twilight, or that she's like got that Thousand Island trucker stare, and she's like, yes, the water tribe, my people.
Fucking Native American trash in front of him in single tear.
Yeah.
Just no, I would say, like I said, she's just there. She does, like, the only time like anything comes into play is like when they're in the North Water tribe. And I thought they were gonna avoid this completely, with Master Paku only teaching men to waterbend. And they did it. And I was like, oh, I'm like, okay. I was like, then what was this whole thing of taking like sexist things out? I'm like, you didn't take anything. Like, yeah, he's still there.
Nah, it's just Sokka. They were just like, Sokka needs to be less sexist because he's our hero. But like the thing that seems to be going on recently, because I'm all for making media more inclusive and not like punching down at communities that like are already having a rough time. Like if you're making like a trans character as a joke and making them be like, oh, what bathroom do I even go in? Like, that's shitty. We don't need that. But like whenever you take a character that has an obvious flaw and grows out of it and they're your hero, that's an interesting thing, because you're like, I like all the things that Sokka does, except for the fact that he doesn't like women that much until like, most of the way into season 1, when he finally realizes he's kind of a shitter about it, and then everything's fine, right? And it seems like a number of pieces of media now are taking the easy route and being like, what if we just made it to where like their character defect is like they're just messy. They're just they just leave trash in places. What a character flaw.
So, he was, I will say, he was less sexist. He didn't say like a lot of sexist things. He just made general broad statements about people. But there were, like, if you've seen the cartoon, the Kyoshi Warrior episode, he was very, I don't know if sexist was the thing I would say about him going against the Warriors, because I saw the episode recently, and it was more like, I'm a man, I'm a warrior, and what do, like, I guess sexist, what do like girls know about being warriors?
What do girls and their cute little makeups, what do they know?
Yeah, basically.
Wow, cool costume, real warrior like idiots, and then they kick ass, and he's like, oh, sorry, my bad.
In the cartoon, like, or in the live action, he gets there and he's just like, oh, y'all are warriors, and like
Mm.
he's like, y'all are really good, and like immediately like Suki falls in love with him, and
Yes,
like
yes, Suki just
they
she saw the Avatar gang coming over the hill, but she saw Sokka first because his chin was just like pointing over the horizon. She's like, "Oh, who's that?"
I I feel like he'd leave multiple cuts on my face. I want to get into that. Um, but like yeah, so like she does like one up him a few times. Like he's throwing his boomerang at like melons, and she's like, oh wow, how do you do that? He's like, you just gotta get the angle right, and he hits it, and then she like undoes her fan and chops them all in one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh okay. Uh, and then like he immediately goes to train one on one with her, and they're doing this like flirty like your stance isn't right, and they're getting together, and then they're like kind of fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and then he falls on top of her, and then rolls over on him, and they have like that look in their eye,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end of the episode they kiss, and that's where you can really see that Sokka has like no lips.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kisses and like his lips, instead of like when you kiss your lips like kind of go out and like
Oh
down
yeah, yeah,
against
yeah.
the person, his lips like suck in.
Man.
It's so funny, but like it wasn't too bad. Like they changed that part of the episode too, because I think it's like episode 2 or like 3, because like in the cartoon, Avatar gets there, they're stoked, they're like, oh fuck yeah, the Avatar's all cool, let's fucking go, come to the town. In the live action, they get there and they're like, get the hell out of here, we don't need you around here, and they have to like convince them for them to stay for 2 days.
Okay.
So that was a change.
Okay. Quick question. Because
Alright.
it seems like we're getting in there with Kyoshi Warriors. Like there's a kiss already.
Yeah.
Does Sokka still date the moon?
Yep.
Oh my god. Good.
Just like the cartoon, yeah. He dates the moon. He dates Suki. The moon dies. Actually, that last episode with the fucking the whole battle was really good. And I want to say they start off fucking strong. The first episode. I don't even know if you want me to spoil it for you.
I don't think you can, so I'll let you go for it.
Well, it wasn't in the cartoon, but it was kind of like a Star Wars Rogue One situation, running away with plans,
Okay.
right? So like you see this Earthbender like running through this alley, and firebenders are after him, and they're fucking firebending at him, and he's earthbending at him. Looks really good, and he gets the plan to his guide, and he's like, "Go! I'll stay, and I'll fucking stop them." And like they beat his ass, and they take him to the Fire Lord Ozai, and he's just like, he's like, you, or no, it was Sozin. It was Sozin at the time, and he was like, you didn't stop me. I got the plans. Now they're gonna know that you're gonna go to the Earth Kingdom. And Sozin's like, he's like, that's what I wanted you to think. We want people to go and defend the Earth Kingdom so we can go destroy the other places. And he's like, what? And he fucking sets him on fire on screen and murders him. Dude, yeah. And then the Fire Nation lay siege to the fucking air temple and fucking burn people alive, all the airbenders.
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Wild. On screen, yeah, just fucking burning people alive. And then there's just like one other scene later down where like Azula infiltrates like spies in the Fire Kingdom, and the spies are like, we're gonna go kill Ozai right now, we have our inside person. And then they get there and they're like, oh, we knew you were coming. And then he's like, you'll never keep us down, and fucking Fire Lord Ozai burns the whole group like just fucking to death.
Hell yeah.
A lot of murder.
To me, it like, Ozai strikes me as a guy who would get intelligence that there's like, hey, listen, there's a group of assassins, like we just caught wind, there's a group of assassins that are coming. They're going to come and try to, sneak into the palace tonight, and they're going to kill you. And Ozai's like, cool, thanks for letting me know. And they're like, great, we'll post a bunch of guards. And he's like, no, I'll just stay up. And then he's just waiting at 2 a.m. in his bedroom, waiting for somebody to come in, and he's like, ooh, this is going to be fun.
They don't even know I'm gonna burn them.
I'm going to incinerate them and eat them.
Ooh, what am I gonna say when they come in?
Yeah, he spends an hour just trying to think of like, your plan just got burned. No.
Fancy meeting you here, dickhead. No, not that. That's stupid.
They come in, and then the lights in the room turn on, and they're like, "Oh shit, is he here?" And then Ozai lights them on fire, and he's like, "It's lit, fam." And that's Then he stops for a second. He's like, "Oh shit, God, I really should have thought of something better. That's the best I could come up with." As they're screaming to death.
He's like, "Oh, I've caught you. Now I'm all fired up." Fuck. Oh fuck. Yeah, no, like the guy who plays Ozai is the doctor from The Good Doctor. You know, Dr. Han.
No,
I'm a surgeon, Dr. Han.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? Get out of here.
Who's the good doctor?
He's an autistic doctor.
Oh, that's right. The autism doctor. I remember. It's like Dr. House, but embarrassing for people with autism. Got it, right.
Yeah, it's the embarrassing show. It's not a good representation of autism. Like Sia's movie Music.
Yes. Okay, so the problem with like autism representation in basically anything is that autism is a broad spectrum, right? And people really want to hyper focus on like the really outlier cases and be like, look, there's our artistic character, aren't they cool? Whereas you usually find a character that like represents autism a lot better when they're not pretending, when they're not like, oh, autism's their whole thing. Like in Sesame Street, God, they have an autistic character named Julia, which is like great.
God,
I'm glad that kids learn, you know, there's different ways to play with people, and some people don't like to be touched or handled or whatever. But Julia is like,
I hate that.
She just like repeats the same words that people say, and she like zones out and like doesn't want to ever be touched, and is like very easily upset. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, there are definitely autistic people like that, right? Of course there are, but
yeah.
Man, it's just every time that they're like, look at this, and like The Good Doctor, they're like, this is the autistic doctor, and he's like, I've autism is my superpower. Also, I'm very bad at talking to people. I'm like, God, please, dude, like,
I'm bad in social situations. Bazinga.
Yeah, bazinga. And it's just like, whenever you're autistic, you learn, like, is depending on the level of autistic that you are, you learn to mask, right? Like, it's the same with ADHD. You learn to mask in public, and so you're usually like pretty good at looking like a facsimile of normal. Like, you'd be like, oh, that guy's a little bit weird. He's close to normal. Something's different, but like he's pretty close to normal. And then like when the autism tends to come out whenever somebody is like you're sitting at a table and people are like, oh yeah, I'm, you know, work is being really really shitty because they're making me change our password every 6 months, and then somebody is like, okay, let me tell you about why that's bad, actually, because the security practices, and then they talk for 20 minutes straight because they know a lot about something and are very excited to tell you about it, and the whole time you're like, oh, okay, you got a little tism, don't you? It's just that's probably the most like the most easily understandable and relatable thing about like people that are autistic, especially nowadays, is like if you're good at masking, which most like high functioning autistic people are, or like if you're on the spectrum, you're usually good enough at masking that you're like, oh yeah, I'm kind of a weird person, but not in a way that is like super off-putting or bad. And then it starts to like everything drops as soon as you're like, oh, that's a thing I'm passionate about. I forgot to not be weird. Sorry.
Yeah. I would say that's what we do all the time on this show.
It's true. This whole show is just this whole show should just be called Unmasking Autism, honestly. Just like the book.
Look, I didn't know there was a book. I get it real excited when we talk about something I know a lot about. I'm not gonna say I'm autistic. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? Could be, could not be.
I mean, I think you have more authority on that than I do.
So fun fact, I, depending on what you count as a diagnosis, I may or may not have been diagnosed as autistic. Because my previous therapist, I came in and was like, yeah, I just, learned about ADHD and like, I'm trying to learn how to relax and like recharge. And we talked for, I think probably 3 months before, my therapist was like, hey, you ever thought about the fact that you may be autistic? It's like, no. And she was like,
well, now I do.
You want to do some tests? And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll do some tests for you. And I did these tests and she comes in and is like, so you are just barely over the edge of what we consider to be autistic. So like, you're probably, if you were to get like a clinical test to do this, you would probably be diagnosed as being autistic or like right up on the spectrum. So whatever that means, like my therapist says you're probably autistic. That's the closest that I've got to a diagnosis. And that makes me an expert.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, more than me. I won't go get diagnosed because that's gonna take up my day, and I don't want to.
Yeah, oh God.
Although, if I do go into Corpus to go get, because that's where the thing will be, that means I'll be able to eat something that's not Whataburger.
Hey,
I'll have options.
Yeah.
Although there is Whataburger on the bay.
It's true.
I don't know. We'll see.
So fun fact. God. Why did I start off with fun fact? My grandmother died. Unfun fact, my grandmother died.
My fun fact is dead. I hope you had a chuckle.
I hope you feel good about yourself.
Your grandma alive? Fun fact then.
My grandmother passed away last weekend, and I'm going to the memorial this week. And I'm flying into Texas, and I'll be in Texas 2 nights. And
hell yeah!
You can't stop me from getting Whataburger one day. I'm very pumped about it.
I'm assuming you're going to be in Austin.
No, I'm going to be actually in Midland, Texas.
That's further.
It's way further. Midland, Texas is out in West Texas. And Midland, Texas is like one of my favorite places. Like, I'm sure there's places like this all over, but I grew up in Midland for a little while, and one of my favorite things is Midland is right next to a large town called Odessa, and Odessa is like Odessa and Midland are like, everyone in, like, people from Odessa are like, everyone in Midland is so snobby and stuck up and like shitty, and then everybody in Midland is like, everyone in Odessa is just so poor and dirty. It's really weird.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Taft and Sinton, except everyone around our town thinks that we're like drug dealers and like killers.
Yeah, every other small town around us lumps those two towns those two towns together with the same stereotypes, but once you're in it, they both hate each other. And with Taft, where we grew up, is just like, oh yeah, Sinton, God, they got that awful well water, and their brains are just rotten from the well water. They're like, oh, the well water's real tasty.
Dude, yeah, that's our one thing we hold against them, and they're just like, oh, shut up, why don't you go sell some drugs to kids?
Yeah.
And like,
they're like, wow,
drinking.
What's your cool grocery store over there? Shut up. Yeah, we have an H-E-B. Yeah, we've got like multiple fast food restaurants. Shut up.
Dude, yeah, no, Sinton, I don't want to say Sinton's better than Taft, but I am going to say Taft is better than Sinton. Not just because that's where we grew up, but because I don't know, man. I lived in Sinton for a little bit with one of my exes years ago, and I don't vibe with it.
Mm-hmm.
It has a couple of restaurants. It has an HEB, a shitty one.
Mm-hmm.
But it has like nothing. Not that Taft has something, but I feel like they're not hiding it. Like they don't have just a bunch of old fucking buildings that are out not doing anything. I mean, they have like we have the Blackland Museum and like nothing else, but we have just people and like our 2 gas stations and our restaurants and our fucking 2 stores.
Yeah.
And that's like that's it. That's all we need. Like we don't need this big, long fucking stretch of just abandoned buildings and one restaurant.
What you're describing, Taft does have, but it's actually it's much smaller. So like if you go down the main street in Taft, like imagine a small town that has a main street. Taft has one of those. And if you go down that main street, over half of the buildings are abandoned. And it's probably way more than half of the buildings are abandoned.
Not anymore.
That is
like I said.
Are you saying quite generous?
Are you saying the Blackland Museum Main Street?
Yes.
There's nothing abandoned there. There's a little flea market right next to it. The pickle factory, I don't think is anything anymore.
Yeah, the pickle factory is gone. The place right next to the pickle factory, which is Floyd's TV, that place is gone. The Wells Fargo is no longer a Wells Fargo. It's a place to park farm equipment. The Dollar General is on that street. That's gone.
Well, no, it's just moved.
Yeah, it moved. That building that's on that street is abandoned.
No, that's where the rats live.
That's Rat House. You never heard of Rat House? You need to come back.
You're missing out on the Taft Rat Farm, the Taft Rat Building.
The person who used to cut my hair, she moved out, so that building is empty.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know there was a salon because I don't cut my hair.
I never cut my hair,
so it didn't exist.
But to your point, the thing is, like that particular street. There's not a ton of things in it. So like, you definitely notice that, things are gone. But because the town is so small, it's like, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. And you contrast that with Sinton, and the problem with Sinton is that it has like twice the size of Taft, and it doesn't have really many more stores. It has capacity for more stores, but like
twice the nothing.
Yeah, it's got twice the nothing, twice the unoccupied buildings where you drive by and you're like, man, somebody should open a something in there. The thing is, like, for both of the towns have this problem. Anytime you open a business anywhere in these towns, it just shuts down within a year. That's just the reality of it.
Well, not really, because like Whataburger's going strong.
Whataburger is the only Whataburger and the grocery store are the only things.
No, well, it's not a grocery store anymore. It's not Super S anymore. It's Lowe's, and they took out the grocery store aspect, so it's just a hardware store.
Yeah.
So we have the Lowe's, the Whataburger, the McDonald's, the other Mexican restaurant. I forget what it's called. My sister's probably gonna kick my ass when she hears this because she likes that one. The dollar store,
that's the good one.
The good one. The Dollar Tree now, and I think that one's gonna like stay open forever. The Good and Crisp Chicken, and both the Stripes and the Shell.
Okay.
And the other gas station.
And the other, you can't forget the other gas station. So I just
and Dairy King.
And Dairy King. Dairy King is extremely important. I'm going down. I'm just taking a stroll down Green Avenue in Taft, Texas, and so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 businesses in this first block, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abandoned buildings in one block.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. No one goes over there.
Hey, the next block, they're all there's stuff in every. Oh wait, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 more abandoned buildings if you don't count the Wells Fargo. Pickle Factory. Oh, I forgot. There's another building next to the Pickle Factory, and then there's the Floyd's TV show or Floyd's TV repair place that's closed.
I think there's like an injury lawyer that's there, or like a doctor.
There's an insurance place.
Yeah, that one.
And there is a boutique, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
Because people need their lashes.
The abandoned Dollar General, and then the abandoned building next to the police department. Yep.
No, it's not an abandoned building. It's the rat house.
It's another rat house. We have so many rat houses.
Well, no. The Dollar General is a rat house. The one next to the police station's the raccoon house.
Oh, see, which one's the possum house?
I was just about to say they share a room in that building with possum.
Honestly, proud, big. It's like a big pride.
It's a shared space. You know how like these tech companies have shared spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the raccoons and the possums.
Just all the nighttime creatures just come together to like dig through garbage. It's great.
They have their raccoon business, their possum business. They don't really mix them, but they cohabitate. Anyway, let's move on from small town business.
Yeah, just suffice to say, if your town is bigger but it's still filled with nothing, it does look worse.
Yeah, I don't even know why we got on this point, but it continue.
But yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Let's see.
Here we armpit.
We went through Avatar. Fee.
Yeah.
I've got bad news.
Oh God. Okay.
We talked about Reddit earlier.
We did.
Reddit's gonna go public.
Oh no, my porn.
Okay. So there are a number of things that we have to talk about with this. So Reddit going public means that they are selling off very small fractions of their company to the general public and the market in general. What that usually does is it gives them a ton of money to start off with, because obviously Reddit is going to maintain a bunch of stock and they can sell that stock to generate cash, which is great.
What does that mean? What does that mean for Reddit?
Well, that means that Reddit gets more money, but it also means that now Reddit has to have shareholders that they are beholden to in order to continue making money.
Okay, well, I don't know how anyone's gonna make money on Reddit. Outside of like ads.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be straight up with you.
No,
Reddit doesn't know how Reddit's gonna make money either. Reddit recently announced that they were going to sell their user data to Google to help with Google's AI.
Yeah, the Gemini.
Yeah. The thing is, it's not for a lot of money. It's $60 million.
That's a lot of money.
It would be a lot of money if
it is to me.
If you consider the fact that Reddit last year made $800 million.
Nice.
They spent over $800 million though, so they made actually no dollars.
Wait, but like on what?
I'm gonna this
just
would
maintaining
be
servers.
Servers, right? Hosting images, hosting videos.
Yeah, you know, my porn.
Yeah, like porn
and my memes.
Yeah, and all those fire memes. And then paying engineers, paying different staff. And also paying the CEO $193 million.
Oh,
just paycheck stuff.
Oh, okay. Geez, okay.
That's like, if you're doing the math, that translates to almost 1/4 of all of Reddit's money goes to the CEO.
Damn.
Yes.
I'm so okay. So off topic. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's rumbling in the back. Oh, it just stopped. There was rumbling in the background. I don't know if you could hear it
Hmm.
or if anyone could hear it.
I can't.
But it's you can?
No, I cannot.
Oh, okay, I can. Um my brother-in-law is lawn mowing the yard. I guess he was fixing a lawnmower, but it is midnight
It's
where we are.
midnight.
And I feel like I should tell him to stop.
No, here's the thing. Let him fuck around and find out.
Look, there was a drive-by shooting on my street not too long ago, and this house is new, and I don't want any bullet holes in the house.
Do you think that they would do a drive-by on your house because you mowed too late?
Yes, I don't know why they did a drive-by on my neighbor. But I assume because they were just being obnoxious kids. So, like, if they would do a drive-by for kids being obnoxious, I think they would do a drive-by for a lawnmower at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Anyway, I know that was off topic, but like, it's been bugging me that I've been hearing it, and I'm just like, God, it's midnight. I'm surprised the cops haven't been called.
It's midnight, and I'm gonna go fucking shoot that house.
Dude, I'm telling you, if the cops come in there just like, you gotta stop that. You're creating a disturbance. Like,
one of the 4 cops in town.
like, I know he would be very abrasive to the cop because he is very Mexican, I guess.
I was anticipating, like, he's very anti-authoritarian. He's very ACAB. I was not anticipating very Mexican, though.
No. Like, he's like my dad.
Oh yeah.
So that's as much as I could explain.
And honestly, I know exactly what you mean. When you say that, I know the audience may not know, but when you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, like. Your dad is somebody that, like, if the cop showed up and was like, hey, you're playing music like at 2 a.m. so loud, he'd be like, get the fuck off my property. I can play music as loud as I want. I'll turn it up. I'm gonna play it off 4 radios.
Dude, the neighbors, my dad, you're joking, my dad did that. My dad, I don't know if you remember, but he would do that. He had a speaker in the backyard, and he had the music playing loud into the night until like 3 a.m. after he'd wake up from like falling asleep after drinking. And like, the cops used to come around and tell him to stop, and then they just stopped coming and the neighbors stopped complaining because he was just gonna do it like even more. So like, they just figured if they don't do anything, it'll just be loud but not too loud, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to what is malicious compliance, I guess, but like, not really, because my dad wasn't complying.
Yeah, that's just malicious.
They were, yeah. It's just malicious. But that's just who my dad was, and like, no one could stop him. I mean, he sounds like a menace. I'm sorry. Like, because like, all the neighbors, like, he was harmless. He was just loud. And if he got like up in your face and wanted to like get into it, like, he knew that there wasn't going to be a fight, because he would get into your face and be like, come on, hit me. And he knew if they hit him first, then it's in self-defense.
Yeah.
So
your dad's one of those guys where he's like, no. If they hit you first, you could go get a baseball bat and kill them, and they can't do anything about it. You just be like, no. He punched me first. I thought I was afraid for my life, so I went inside and got a baseball bat and came into his room 2 days later and killed him. I was so afraid. And they're like, well, he did hit him first.
Don't you know who that is? It's Frito. We can't take him in.
We can't take
I'm afraid of him.
He called us and he said, hey, this guy punched me. Now anything that happens to him for the rest of his life is self-defense. We had to write it down. He told us to write it down. Don't go to his house.
Next week, that guy's in the witness protection. The cop's like, well, he was like, sorry, Frito. He won't be bothering you anymore. No need to be afraid.
Yeah, no need to be afraid. They they go to tell him this news, and they see him outside of this guy's house, like with an axe, trying to get through the door. They're like, Frito, it's okay. He's the witness protection program. You don't have to be afraid anymore. He's like, sorry, my bad.
You saw how frightened I was just now. Fuck. Good. I'm sorry, Dad. I gotta fucking. Oh, don't.
Christ.
He. Fun fact: he passed away a few years ago. No, he's no longer afraid.
Somebody fun facts today.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Okay, Reddit API. Go.
Yeah, okay, so the Reddit is going to be going public, which again, this does mean that they like have to be beholden to shareholders, and like this sort of signals that Reddit is going to try to become profitable, right? Like because nobody is going to want to hold stock in a company that it doesn't make money.
Yeah.
So
I'm still trying to wrap my head around like how they're gonna make money. Like Reddit to me is almost like Tumblr. Like like it doesn't make money. It just fucking bleeds it.
Yeah, and it is. The thing is like the things that they can do is they can sell user data. I'm shocked that they're selling it to Google for as little as they are. There has to be a catch here. It has to be like, oh, you're going to get like 1% of all of our data for a year. Like it has to be something like that, because to sell all of that data to Google is...
I bet what they're not saying is like the CEO they got it so low because the CEO, they offered him like fucking Google stocks, and like he was like, I'm sold.
Dude, here's the thing, like the Google deal, like $60 million, right? That doesn't even pay for half of the CEO's salary. Like,
why is he getting paid so much?
So
why is he paying himself that much?
So the breakdown is like this: the actual money that he gets paid, salary, he gets paid $300,000 a year.
Oh boy.
But what he gets is like internal stock awards. So like if you add together the stock awards, option awards, and then they have a thing that's called non-equity incentive plan compensation, which I'm not smart enough to understand what that is.
I don't even know what you said.
But it's $792,000. So
Jesus. Oh, fuck, man. That's why I'm not in big business.
Yeah, so to be fair, like, imagine Reddit goes public, and this happened with Facebook too, by the way. Facebook went public.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you I don't know if you remember this, but when Facebook went public, they tanked, their stock tanked for like 3 months. It was just in the shitter. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened to Reddit, but it never recovered. Like, Facebook is profitable now. They're like a valuable stock to have. I wouldn't be surprised if Reddit went down and then just stayed down. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they go public and within a year they're like, oh, Reddit is now owned by Microsoft.
They added the Reddit widget on Bing.
Yeah, this is it's incredible.
Man, it's so weird, right? Like, I use Reddit, but it's not a too big deal. But I guess people are up in arms. They are selling information, and from like, I'm assuming the users, so like they can have more targeted fucking ads.
Oh yeah.
But Facebook, like, why do we even need Facebook? Oh, like, Facebook is like useless. Its interface is just fucking rancid, and Mark Zuckerberg, he just keeps failing with everything he tries to do.
Yeah.
He's like 10 years behind of what we are. fucking metaverse, they just swept under the rug. It's no longer a thing.
Yep.
And like right now, he just doesn't know what he's doing with the company. Like I don't want Reddit to be that way.
I don't think like none of us want Reddit to be that way. The thing is, Facebook still surprisingly is like one of the highest trafficked websites like in the whole world.
Well, that's because it's easy to use and it comes pre-installed on phones.
Yes. They've done a lot to make sure that like it's very easy to get like linked back to Facebook, and like they've got Facebook Marketplace and there's, you know, Facebook Messenger and blah blah blah. Like they have things and they also own Instagram and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So like,
oh well, Instagram is big.
And
WhatsApp,
it's still big.
Yeah, it's still big. WhatsApp can eat my ass. That's where all the bots live.
I agree. WhatsApp is the thing is WhatsApp is like the way that people globally communicate. Like it's the most popular messaging app in the planet, except for like America.
I guess fair, but like, oh god, no, I don't know. It's just me. I go on Facebook every once in a while to see my sister or my mom when they post stuff, and that's it. I privated my account. Only like anyone that I have on my friends group can see my page. I don't even post there anymore. It's just such. I don't want to say like it's like a relic, right? It's just useless almost, because like everything is so discombobulated. There's ads even in the marketplace. You scroll through the marketplace, you click something, it takes you to a web page because you thought it was like something you were looking for, but it was just an ad they didn't fucking say outright. And then there's just bots messaging you constantly on Facebook Messenger. And then on your regular Facebook, just messaging constantly. Oh, so-and-so wants to be your fucking friend. And it's like a picture, like a stock photo of like someone from overseas.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, stop this. I'm like, why are you messaging me?
Yeah, I don't so I don't use Facebook except to like give things away. So like I'm very rarely on there, but what I've noticed is that Facebook started within the past 2 years being like, oh, hey, here's one post from your friend. Here's 2 posts from some random ass page that you don't know about that's like, oh, be a solo lion who, you know, charges into the battlefield first. Like one of those stupid ass memes, and I'm like, oh, God, just fucking stop.
I liked the picture of like Tifa from Final Fantasy the other day on Facebook, because I just happened to be scrolling when my sister's notification popped up, and I scrolled for a minute. And then like now I'm getting notifications of like, oh, fucking video game girls unhinged is a page you might like, and I'm like, stop fucking notifying me. I'm like, I don't, if I didn't follow this group, why would I want a notification about it?
Yeah. It's like, it's ridiculous because they're like, oh, you liked the one thing from this page. You know what you should do? You should like the page. You should make sure that we can push you notifications from this page every day.
God, I hate Facebook push notifications, and I hate being in a group on Facebook. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, just get Discord.
Yeah, that's where I am actually, is so there's a concept called buy nothing, which is like if you're in a neighborhood and you have like, oh, we don't need this thing anymore. Does anybody want it? You can just, I'll put it out on the porch and someone can take it for free. And like, obviously if you, like you kind of want to sell a thing, but, when you're in this group, it's like, okay, but there's, everybody is giving away stuff for free and like, you're expected to, you know, contribute. So, it's not like a mandatory or anything, but so in buy nothing, for example, we got new cat water fountains, and so we had filters for our old cat water fountains, and we're like, well, we can't use these anymore because we're not using those water fountains. Does anybody want these filters? Right? Just simple stuff like that, old furniture, toys, books, whatever. And
Books for a
so,
cat?
do what?
You said books for a cat?
No.
Oh, I thought you were listing off like cat stuff, and you said books. I'm like, your
No,
cats can read.
just anything in general.
Okay, okay. Sorry.
So
Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's a general purpose kind of thing. So yeah, then I joined this group because my wife is like, oh yeah, I keep asking my wife like, hey, can you post this on Buy Nothing? And they're like, yeah. And then they didn't do it, and then I'm like, come fuck on, dude. And then eventually I was like, what am I doing? I could just do this. And so I did. Now I get 4 or 5, 6 sometimes push notifications every day that's like, hey, this person is giving away an immersion circulator. This person is giving away some tissues. I'm like, great, cool, fucking
Tissues.
I don't need to hear that, please.
This is why you make your wife do it so you don't get the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't tell you. I don't know. I don't like push notifications, and I go to bed and I have like none, and I wake up with like a billion.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of them are relevant, and some of them are just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And like Reddit does it too. And even I don't know why it does it, even though I've turned off notifications for the subreddits I follow, I still get push notifications for it. And it bugs me.
Yeah. It's the same. And like that's what I'm worried about is like because Reddit had started to do a little bit of that where they're like, hey, there's this post that's going on. You want to take a look at that? Discord started doing it. I don't know if you've gotten this yet, but like I've gotten stuff where I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not in I'm not in Discord. I'm like at work or whatever, and then I get push a notification that's like, hey, these 3 people in Discord are talking about this topic. And I am like, what? And I guess it's just because they're like, hey, this Discord usually has X amount of messages per minute or per hour or whatever, and this is like way above that. So people are like in an active conversation. They're talking about this, but we want to synthesize what the subject is, and then we want to make sure that other people open the app so that they can like get into Discord and start talking about this, I guess. And so I get push notifications for stuff that's like, I got one today that was like, oh, hey, these 3 people are talking about Joseph's name. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Joseph Joestar.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Joestar.
I haven't got it, but to be fair, I don't know how many Discords you're in. Shut up. I am in 2 Discords.
Hell yeah.
And I keep whenever like you mention you're different separate Discords. I'm like, well, what Discord could it be? And all the fun's right here.
Yeah.
I go to the the Discord where you could search for like different ones to chat in. I search there and I'm like, that's like a big Discord. I'll be getting notifications. I don't want to be in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know how frequent I'll be in there. So like I don't. So then I only have like the 2 Discords with like my friend groups in it, and that's good enough for me.
Good.
So I haven't got that notification yet. Although I have on our Discord, I have on all the topics, I have them muted to where I won't get notifications, except for like certain ones, like movies or like well, we watch the thing, or anime, because those are the ones that I frequently go off on, or games.
Yeah.
That's where I live on Discord. If you want to find me, I'll be in our avatar in our anime Discord section.
Yeah.
So,
which like fair.
I feel like I'm the only one in there. I'm always randomly just posting. I'm like, I saw this show today. You should fucking watch it. Hey. And then everyone's like, good for you, Fee.
You know what? Proud of you. That's great.
We're happy for you.
You're such a cutie. Out here excited about stuff.
Just on the floor, like fucking on my belly with like my iPad kicking my legs back and forth. I'm like, look, it's One Piece.
Hey, look at this. Look at this guy. It's Egghead Island. Hey.
It's Big Lufo. It's Luferigno. Uh, is that name Luferigno? Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, you got
it. So I think we should move on to one more topic.
Yeah, we've got there's some trailers here, Fee.
Well, I think we should say. Well, we can go over Boy Kills World now because there isn't much to say. There is, but like,
yeah, it's a new Sam Raimi movie. So if you like Drag Me to Hell, or as Fee called it the one time, Drag the Hell Out of Me, then you're gonna like this. It looks pretty fucking sick, actually.
Fucking drag the hell out of me. I forgot I said that. God, he produced it. He didn't direct it.
Oh. Well, then never mind. Fuck this movie. Don't watch it.
Fuck you. The movie looks great. Bill Skarsgård's in it.
He is. And he's not talking. They're instead giving the talking part to H. John Benjamin, which is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, Bob Burgers.
Bob Burgers. That's his last name.
That's his last name. Mm-hmm. He's narrating the whole thing, and it's so funny because like Bill Skarsgård has like this certain voice that he has, but then it's contrasted with Bob Burgers' deep voice. H.R. Benjamin, that's his name, right?
H. John Benjamin.
That's what I said.
H.R. Puffin Benjamin.
H.R. Puffin stuff. H. John Benjamin. He has one of those voices that you immediately you go to one thing that he's been in, like no matter what. You're like you'll like I said, you hear him and I immediately I was like, oh, it's Bob's Burgers, but people will see it and they're like, oh, that's Archer. Or hey, it's fucking Coach McGurk. It's fucking it's that guy from that one episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Just the one.
Just the one. He's a great cartoon voice actor, and you don't see much of him in live action. Even though I think he'd be great because he doesn't look like any of the characters he voices, but I love his voice.
Yeah, him and got a whole jazz album. It's fantastic.
I think his name is Dana Schneider, the guy who voices Master Shake.
I don't know.
I like his voice. He is very distinct in everything he does.
Yes, it is.
I say that because like someone in one of our in our comment sections a while back, I think it was last year, said that I sounded like Master Shake, and I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, that could mean anything. And you took it to mean a compliment, and I'm happy for you.
I'm very happy. Anyway, Boy Kills World is such a cool looking movie. It reminds me of that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's like on that contest in the future where he has to like go through all these like stages where people are trying to kill him, and if he like wins, like he gets money. I forget what that's called. It's like not Demolition Man. It's like something Run, I think.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that movie, so I can't tell you what it is. But it does give the same vibe where it's like dystopian future, like ruling class, and that my man is a freedom fighter who's who's gonna go kick some ass.
Yeah, and it's very like dystopian because like they have people on the show that are killing the teams that are going on the show, and they're like sponsored. So like they have like this cereal brand sponsoring one of like the people trying to kill the people, and they're like in mascot outfits. It's all good. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks super silly, but also really
very stylized.
Like a good time. Yeah, it's stylized, and honestly, that's what I'm looking for in a movie nowadays. Is like doesn't look like anything else. That's why I liked Poor Things. Is doesn't look like anything else in the market, and you're not gonna get fucked by Mark Ruffalo anywhere else. So
honestly, like if I was at a movie theater and I saw Poor Things and someone gave me the description of it, I wouldn't want to see it.
I know.
Unless you were there, because you'd probably be like real jazzed about it.
I'd be like, come on, man.
I'd be like, fine, let's fucking see it. And then I'd watch it, and then I'd be like, all right, that was fine. But like, if I was by myself, which is what I do nowadays, I would want to go see it by myself because I'd be very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But Boy Kills World looks leagues better than the Borderlands trailer. Leagues.
Damn. So
you're a shithead and you're a contrarian. That's what you're just about to say.
True. I'm gonna preface this with Borderlands for me has never been a series that like really hit me in a place where I care a lot about it. It just never has.
How dare you?
It's fun, but I'm never like, oh man, I really love the story in this. Like I don't give a shit about the characters or the story or the anything. Now that we got that out of the way, thought the trailer looked fine. Thought it looked better than a Resident Evil movie.
Okay.
And it looked worse than a really, really good video game movie. But it looks like fun. Looks like it could be a dumb fun.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go watch it. Because I'm such a big Borderlands fan. I know that sounded sarcastic, but I am. I'm a big Borderlands fan. And they done fucked up from the get-go.
Okay.
With the casting. So they let's start out with Lilith, Cate Blanchett.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith is like a 20-something, 30-something-year-old character in the game. In the movie, she's like a 50-year-old woman, and you can tell. Roland, ex-soldier, 6 foot tall, canonically. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Getting played by Kevin Hart.
Hell yeah.
Canonically 5'2".
Canonically in IRL canon.
What a joke of a cast so far.
Damn.
But they got Lilith and Roland, who were in Borderlands 1.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was anticipating Brick and Mordecai.
Mm-hmm.
The big guy and the guy with the mask, if you don't know. But no. We got Tiny Tina, who, in the trailer, she looks fine. They don't have the psycho mask on the side of her head, which is also a really big shit on her character,
it's
because she always
shit.
had. It is. She has
that's what they say.
It's a disservice to the character because she always had that since Inception on the side of her head. They have her in her Borderlands 3 outfit. For some reason. And then they got Krieg the Psycho, a DLC character from Borderlands 2. Why didn't you have that guy, that big guy, play Brick? It was right there. Why is Tiny Tina a Vault Hunter? You can't even play as her. You don't even see her do anything in the game. She's a side character and a quest giver. She's a demolition expert. You see her do some stuff in the cutscenes, but like nothing. Why is she there shooting? Krieg, I understand, I guess, if you wanted him there. But why not have the main 4 Vault Hunters from the, what's it called, the first game? Also, Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis was the worst cast decision. Even worse than Kevin Hart as Roland.
Okay, so quick question. Why do you think Jamie Lee Curtis was a bad choice? Because
Tannis is like a 20-something, 30-something-year-old like goofy weird nerd scientist who's like introvert. And second of all, in the trailer they have her on the fucking battlefield with the other people fucking shooting people, which is something she didn't do. I don't like to come off as this fucking person like, oh, this fucking this is shit. It's just I'm such a big fan of Borderlands, and like seeing Jamie Lee Curtis with this goofy hairstyle, with her gray hair, not looking anything like Tannis. She looks like she's cosplaying. it sucks because that's not who that character is. That's not who the character of Tiny Tina is. And then like they showed like some scenes with her, like she's not bombastic enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's very like subdued from what I'm seeing. I'm speculating some parts, but like they show her and she's like she talks kind of low. She doesn't have like a high fucking way of that she's talking. They show her cartwheel, but like man, it's very like Roland. Kevin Hart is playing like trying to be serious with Roland, and it's really goofy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith is playing like this stoic badass, which is what she wasn't in part 1. They have and people brought to attention that fucking what's his name came out. Was it Phil Spencer, the guy who fucking made Borderlands 3? I forget. Fucking Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, Randy.
Was just like, oh, people are saying, why is Mouthpiece the one of the first mini bosses from Borderlands 3 in this game? And he's like, that's not Mouthpiece. We just made him look like it for no reason. And then there's fucking what's it called? That the dude from the Best Friends podcast. What's his name? The Asian guy. He was in Mad TV.
Oh, Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee, they have him playing a character that's not in any of the games. It's just fuck. They fucked everything up. The story already sounds just like they're trying to Lilith is coming back to Pandora, which why wasn't she on the fucking planet already? Mm-hmm. To take a mission to go save the daughter of Atlas Corporation. Like, what the fuck? Why not just have the story be about the fucking vault and finding the key? They think there's loot in there, and it's the destroyer. That's all it has to be, a race to get the vault key. They're already fighting the fucking Crimson Fang. And then you didn't do the I went to Twitter with this one. I was just like they showed the trailer and they did that thing where they took an old song and they made it to like where the movie kind of like Suicide Squad movie did.
Yeah, of course.
They did that and I'm like, that's fine, but why didn't you have it start out with Marcus like in the game narrating about Pandora? Marcus is a character in the movie and he's there. Why not have it like the game where you have Marcus narrating and then it starts with the opening cutscene of all the Vault Hunters fighting the psychos and then saying their names in big bold letters, and then you have the song from that trailer play. It was right there.
I mean, why you don't know that that's not how the movie starts? I
can tell you right now 100% that that's not how it's going to start.
Oh my god, I'm going to record this. I'm record this.
We're already recording this. I will eat my own fucking shirt if that's how it starts.
Oh boy, you better start boiling it now, bud.
I'll make sure it's a shirt I don't like. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that that's not how it's going to start.
So far, I'll be honest with you, Fee.
All right.
About half of your criticism is bullshit.
No,
about half of it doesn't mean anything, and I'm disregarding it entirely.
You are just happy to see anything. You have like no opinions on anything you watch. You'll just watch it, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, you're like, I won't watch it anymore. You have no opinions.
I do not care that Roland is not an accurate height. I do not care that Lilith looks older than she is in the game, because it doesn't matter. I don't care that Tiny Tina doesn't talk with the same voice that she does in the game, because it doesn't matter. I don't care that Tannis doesn't look the way that she does in the game, because it doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of that matters.
It does.
It doesn't. It does. It means it gives you nothing. You didn't like those characters because of those things. You weren't like, oh, you know what I really like about Lilith is that she looks like she's 20. That's my favorite thing about Lilith. You like parts about the character. You don't have to compare it to the original game, and it doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 match. If you like the character, in one thing, as long as that character makes the transport. Doesn't matter what box it comes in. If it's the same character, you're going to like them. Or you should like them.
There was better actors. Why Kevin Hart? Michael B. Jordan was right there. Terry Crews was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry Crews is like a big fucking buff god who's a comedy, like he's comedy in action. Mm-hmm. He was right there. He would have been perfect. Listen, I would have had less to complain about. And Jack Black's in it. He's great. Like Jack Black is going to carry the movie.
Jack Black is I'll be honest with you, Jack Black was my least favorite part about the trailer. I thought he did a good claptrap. I did not like the end of the trailer where he was like, please watch me shit out these bullets. I hated that. I hated all of that.
It was in character for claptrap.
Yeah, but, I'm not saying it wasn't. I just didn't like it.
I know. I was like, oh, cringe. I was like, oh. Although that wasn't Jack Black's decision, so it is what it is.
So anything that you said that has to do with like appearance or way that someone talks, I'm throwing all of that away because it's invalid criticism.
You just hate me.
I don't hate you. I just hate your dumbass opinions that are like, oh, this person's right-handed, but in the game they're left-handed. Like, it's fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
It is weird to see characters like wielding two guns at once, especially when you didn't in the game.
Oh,
I know you would in real life.
Oh, no, my immersion, it's broken.
I know in real life you would if you could. It's just weird, right? Because like you're so used to one thing. Also, it's not completely negative. I like the way Pandora looks. I like the way the Psychos look. They put in a legendary pistol and gave it to Lilith. The Infinity Pistol. Some of the costumes look really good. And I will say that about them. Roland's costume looks really good. Lilith's costume looks really good. Krieg's costume looks really good, although I hope they don't take his mask off in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't take his mask off. It's just so a lot of everything looks good, but the cast is what I'm saying, and the story, it should have been different. Marcus's costume looks great, and they show a vending machine. Marcus looks like he's going to be great. A lot of the side characters look great. They showed Moxie. She looks great.
Yeah.
It's just the main cast is where I have the main four.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis aside, she could be doing a great job. That's fine. I will leave her out because I like Jamie Lee Curtis. The main four, Roland, Lilith, fine. Let's say I don't care. I'm okay with Kevin Hart playing Roland. I'm fine because Kevin Hart is funny. I can deal with that. Mm-hmm. I liked him in the trailer. It's fun. It's funny to see a little Roland trying to act fucking hard.
little Roland.
Little Roland. It's fine. I'm okay with that. Cate Blanchett, I haven't heard her say more than one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like how she's just like, they show her in the trailer being just like kind of one note, just like stoic and like, not stoic, but like kind of like the Katara situation. Mm-hmm. Where they just show her with that way. I haven't seen enough of her do anything or say anything. I'm fine with those two. Mm-hmm. Where my things come, they could have kept Tiny Tina in the movie. Mm-hmm. But why is she a main character? She could have been a side character.
So that's where I think your criticisms are valid. Because to be fair, to you are expecting a Borderlands 1 movie, not a movie that is set in the Borderlands world. And this is basically half of a Borderlands 1 movie, with some other weird shit put into it. And I can tell you why they put Tiny Tina in. It's because Tiny Tina is a fan favorite. And they were like,
I know.
Okay, if we've only get one movie, everybody's going to be really pissed if Tiny Tina's not in it. And let's just do Tiny Tina as one of the main characters. Now, Krieg is an interesting choice. I don't know why they would have picked him over anyone else.
Brick. Brick was right there. The guy is just as big as Brick. He could have been Brick.
Okay, here's the other thing that I'll say. I guarantee you, if they would have put Brick in the show, like in the movie, and his voice wasn't over the top Mr. Satan voice, I think everybody would have been like, well, Brick is fucking boring.
No, like, okay, so like Brick, I think he's played by a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had like he's just like a goofy big guy who likes to smash. Like that's all he had to be. That's like, as long as he did that, that's fine. And the guy who's playing Krieg has the build and the height to play him. That's all they had to do is switch him over. The thing that makes it weird now is that Tiny Tina and Krieg are there as the secondary characters, and canonically in game, it's not outright said, but Krieg is Tina's dad, who was a normal guy, and then I think he got experimented on. Then he went crazy and has two personalities, and he has to fight with himself to be normal. And we don't know if Tina knows that Krieg is her dad, but like everyone else has like put it together. So now we are like left with, well, are they together from the start? Do they find him? Like, does she know what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
like,
people are theorizing that he is gonna be like her like bodyguard, and like that basically Roland and Lilith are together on a mission to do a thing. They have to go and for whatever reason get into the vault for some reason, and they need an explosives expert, and so they have to go get Tiny Tina, and Tiny Tina comes with Krieg. That, I think, is what people are saying is how the four get together. Obviously, we don't know that, but that's currently the prevailing theory of how that happens.
And I'm 100% sure that that's gonna happen. Although, like, they could have kept Tina in and did like her little fucking side mission for like 10 minutes and got the bomb for her, and she could have still been there, but not in the main cast. And that's where like you're losing me. I'm like, you had like all these Vault Hunters and playable characters that you could have had that people like wanted to see over Tina, and you didn't use any of them. And that's fine. Like, Tina's in the movie, she's there. Give her like 5-minute spotlight or whatever, and then like keep the main cast. It's just it's really weird directions that this movie's going in. And that's like where people are getting lost on it, right?
So
and Randy Pitchford and the director are throwing things in from like other games, but they're saying like, oh, but this isn't who you think it is, and here's a character that's not in the games and he's in the movie, and it's just like, well, why are you doing that?
Yeah. So what I am imagining here, I am imagining that this was like their one chance. They're like, if we don't produce, like, if this Borderlands movie doesn't make its money back, we're not going to get a second one. We have to go balls to the wall, put everything in it at the same time. And I can respect that. I can respect that you're like, the runtime has to be reasonable. No one wants, I mean, other than really hardcore Borderlands fans, nobody wants to watch a 3-hour-long Borderlands movie, right?
Oh no, God no! 2 hours I think is a sweet spot for a Borderlands movie.
Here's the thing, I actually disagree. I think
an hour and a half.
I think Borderlands could do a 6-episode, 1 hour per episode miniseries.
Oh, thank you. I was just about to say, I'll go even further and say eight episode.
Yeah, and the reason why is like it's hard to translate a video game into a movie, because a movie has to like have a beginning, set up with characters that you like, get you emotionally invested, hit a payoff, and then end all before you have to take a piss, right?
Yeah. Especially with all the characters they're gonna have as a main character. You have 4 main characters, 5, I guess, because
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis is Tannis. And then all these side characters. Well, you're not going to really get to know any of them in the movie. And I'm just thinking like I get it. The Borderlands movie looks great on paper, but like Borderlands show would leave more of an impact because now people are gonna have like this bad taste in their mouth from the movie if it doesn't hit certain beats. Like I already have a bad taste in my mouth, and I think the movie's like gonna be like a 5 or a 6 before watching it.
Yeah, if I had to bet, that's probably why the other two Vault Hunters got cut, is they were like, we've already got too many characters. We can't get emotionally invested in all of them. And Tiny Tina has to be in it. So like
Their hands are tied.
I think what they probably did is they were like, okay, Lilith has to be in it, obviously. And Tiny Tina has to be in it. Now, who of the other Vault Hunters are we also going to put in? And they were like, well, we need sort of a straight man, like Deadshot type character for like for Suicide Squad. Roland is a good fit for that. Okay, we'll pick Roland. Okay, we need one more. And now they're looking at the other two main Vault Hunters and they're like, God, do we want to do a CGI bird? No. Brick could work.
Yeah.
Brick could work. But
he has too much dialogue. And Krieg doesn't really say anything but scream.
Yeah. I think what they probably did is they were like, it was probably a toss-up between Brick and Tiny Tina, and they needed somebody to pair up with
Krieg.
Tiny Tina.
Well, they could have used Brick too, because like in Borderlands 3 and 2, Brick and Tina are like they call themselves the B team. They're already like in a group on their own. So like why not just have that dynamic of Brick being with Tina and just, I don't know, have Mordecai fuck off somewhere or like show him in the after credits. Like I get Krieg because like you have a big guy, you don't have to give him any dialogue besides screaming and saying random things, rather than having to write in Brick, who's gonna have like dialogues and quips and stuff with the character, and then interact with Tina. When they chose Krieg, who has like this, you have to look for fucking things in the game to tie them together.
You know what? You make a really good point, actually. It's probably because they knew that they had, like, if you're picking 4 Vault Hunters, like these are the 4 characters that we are going to follow, it is like, and you know that you don't have a lot of time to get the audience connected with each of the characters. If one of them is a character that you're not even supposed to connect that well with, that like you're supposed to connect with in sort of like a different way, then that's probably more than you need, because you've already got enough characters that like Lilith is going to be sort of like snarky, sarcastic every once in a while. Kevin Hart is your straight man. Claptrap is wild and making jokes. Tina is crazy and adds like a fun, weird element, but also is kind of a kid. So, you know, there's like, you have to be introduced to and connect with all of these characters. And then you're like, oh, and now there's another one that, and it's like, do I want to spend the 5 minutes in this movie over the course of like this hour and a half or 2 hours to try and get the audience to care about Brick, or do I want to like have this like weird character that you don't like can just be inserted into scenes as like comedic relief, and then you have like a 30-second thing where it's like in the middle of the movie, like, you know, Krieg's regular dude personality takes over and he's like, I love you, Tina, and then he sacrifices himself and she's like, that was my dad, and then everybody's bummed, but you didn't have to spend any time connecting the audience to him because he's just a fucking crazy person. Like, that's probably what it is.
Yeah. I'm 100% sure that that's what it is. And like, and I like I said, I get it. I'm still upset, but like I get it. And here's the thing that I'm wondering if they're gonna do. I wonder if they're gonna do a joke with one of the characters dying and then being revived with like the revive machine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm really torn because of like the choices. And now that we're talking about it and actually trying to get into their heads about why they're doing it, I understand. It's just that like I'm already I'm already like in the mindset of what I want, and I'm not getting what I want. And a
Mhm.
lot of people are in that mindset. But I understand they already had to do like reshoots and like re up on scenes and stuff, and they just want to get this movie out because this has been like announced for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, they probably don't have much faith in it. Honestly, like they're going Randy Pitchford's like going on and on about it. They're showing all this stuff. It's just that I think it'll be just an all right movie. It won't be anything spectacular, and when I go see it, I'm probably gonna have a good time, but be like, that's I want more. Like I wanted more, and this movie didn't deliver. It didn't reach that peak, right?
Mm-hmm. Which, like, honestly, I don't know. The realities of this are sort of
Now
obfuscated
I'm
from us. Like,
sad.
we're never going to know how this got made and what the process was. But like, imagine, because I think Eli Roth is the director,
Yeah,
which
Eli
is
Roth
why I
is.
don't have much confidence in it because I don't like anything he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, he directed a bunch of bullshit.
He did. But like what I'm imagining here is like he's like, I really love Borderlands. I think it's gonna be great. I'm excited to do this project. And he's like, yeah, okay, I've budgeted it out. I think I can get away. Like if I do an 8-episode series for Netflix, I think I can get it done with all the special effects and everything for probably $80 million. And they're like, there's no fucking way you're gonna get away with that. And he's like, okay, I can do a movie for 40-50 million dollars. And they're like, that's much more reasonable. Yes, okay. Like I think it probably, like, I think if they had more time, if they had like a series to do, I think it would probably be a lot more successful. I think people would enjoy it more. But I think it would also be more expensive than people are willing to pay for a Borderlands movie.
Yeah, I'm betting some of these casting decisions were like a corporate call. I'm betting some of the characters were a corporate call. I if you said Eli Roth said he's a big fan,
Mm-hmm.
I am betting he had like a first like run of like a script with all the Vault Hunters, and they're like, and he's like explaining them, and he's like, oh well, we
Mm-hmm.
want this person and this person to be cast, and the characters you just said they don't fit with who we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe this is kind of like maybe a compromise. I don't, like I said, I don't know. Like the more I talk about it, the more I see where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
As we're explaining it, it's just like, man, Borderlands is one of those series to me that like I can get hours and hours and hours of fun from it, and it's so hard to catch that like in a movie. Like, are
Yeah.
they gonna be like looting all these random weird guns and grenades? Are they gonna have the shield? Like what? Like it's hard to capture that spirit in a movie, especially with just like so many characters driven on this story. Like Lilith obviously is the main character, with Roland being like the second main character, and Krieg and Tina are, I don't want to say just there, but like they're just there.
Mm-hmm. They're taking up space, baby.
They're not integral to the story, but they're there for comic relief,
Yeah.
right? It's just, man, I I'm bored. Like I said, Borderlands is one of those games that I can play anytime. Like I have it on my computer. I bought that. I bought the game so many times. Like I bought Borderlands 1 on the 360. I bought it on the Xbox One. I bought it again on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the collection on the PS4. I bought the collection on the Switch. I bought the collection on the PC, and I bought Borderlands 3 on the PC and the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the not the pre-sequel, the Telltale games. The second one they put out looked really cringe, so I didn't buy it. Like I bought all the DLC. Like I'm in it to win it. Like I've beaten the game so many times, I could just beat it like in like 2 days if I wanted to. Like it's one of those games that's like really like not like, well, I guess near and dear to my heart because like it's so fun and like all the world is like really fun, and just to see like what they're doing in the movie, like they're doing an amalgamation of all like 3. It's like really random. It's random to me.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that they were like, okay, let's take the plot of one and then we gotta cut it down. We gotta cut it down. Okay, if we keep the same plot, it's not gonna make any more fucking sense if we keep cutting it down. So we're just gonna have to change it and start pulling in other things.
That's I think that's what really bothers me, because like Borderlands, the story of Borderlands is all about the vault hunters trying to get to the vault, and that's not what the movie is. And I think that's what bugs me the most. Like really, that's what bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that in the movie they're not doing what the games are all about. It's all about shooting and psychos, and yeah, there's a story over it, but it's really like a race to get to the vault, and that's not what the movie's about. And I think that irks me.
Yeah, that's fair. If you were looking forward to a movie about Borderlands 1, this is probably not it.
Well, like even like Borderlands 2 is about a vault. Borderlands 3 was about like multiple vaults. Like I said, it didn't. That's all they had to do, and I would have not been as upset. Yeah. Instead, now it's a bounty hunter movie, a sci-fi bounty hunter movie.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they were like, there is not enough emotional hook to be like, hey, you got to follow these 4 characters around while they look for treasure. There's gonna be a big treasure at the end. Ooh, they're gonna dig up a treasure box. Ooh, what's behind the vault? Ooh, is it gold? Who knows?
I hate to tell you, but that's the game. And they're like in part 1, they're going up against, I don't know. I don't think it's Atlas. I think it is like Atlas and the Crimson Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the what's it called? Those are the antagonists going against the Crimson Raiders, mm-hmm. and like some of Atlas, and they're trying to stop them. It's a race to get to the vault, and one's a big corporation, and the other is like 4 fucking no-name vault hunters.
Yeah.
And that's the movie is just saving a kid.
Yeah.
Which honestly is like a side quest. It could be like a side quest in one of the games.
I mean, yeah, that's I see where you're coming from. However, I think they probably were trying to play it safe. And they're like, we need a story that's like emotional that people can connect with. And guess what people connect with? Children in peril. So we're going to go save a kid. Rather than be like, I would like some gold. I'm going to go inside the big vault. Oh, there's a monster in here. Oops.
People are speculating that the kid they're saving is Angel, Handsome Jack's daughter.
Oh, God.
We don't know we haven't seen the actress. We don't know what her name is in the movie. We don't know anything, but like I'll shut that down now because she's the daughter of the Atlas Corporation like CEO. So like she's not Handsome Jack's daughter. It's just that like
but what
I don't know.
But what if okay,
what if
it
they
is Angel and she's just not Handsome Jack's daughter?
I'd hate it. I'd hate the movie. I would hate the movie.
You're already hell-bent on hating the movie. I guarantee you could go into the movie and it could be like, they could be like, listen, we hid Brick from you. He's here. And you'd be like, oh, wow, that's I fucking hate this movie still, though. How dare you defile Brick like this?
Listen, I after talking about it, I don't hate the movie. I got a bad feeling about.
I'm just disappointed. I don't hate it. I'm just disappointed.
I'm like an upset parent. I'm just disappointed with some of the choices. But I feel like I'm gonna go watch this movie and I'm gonna have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably rate it with like a mediocre score because that's kind of what it feels like it's gonna be. Unless like the action really pulls through, then it'll probably get a higher score. If the jokes land, it'll get a higher score.
Mm-hmm.
It's just right now with what I know, it's like a fucking 5 or 6.
Okay.
But if they lead in, if like an after credit scene with Handsome Jack, I'll lose my shit. I'd be hyped for it. And then like years down the line, we're gonna be on the podcast and we're gonna be like, so fucking Borderlands 2 movie's not happening. Just fucking, I'd be angry and I just hate the movie. I just won't even want to look at it. There's a lot of Borderlands news coming out this year, like with the trailer. People are speculating in the Borderlands fandom that Borderlands 4 is gonna get a trailer this year. Looking for a 2025 release.
Huh.
I'm pretty pumped about it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I told you, I love Borderlands. I buy every single game that comes out.
You're not, the game's not ruined by the movie?
No.
Kate Blanchett didn't ruin the whole series for you?
No.
That's great.
It didn't ruin the whole series. I mean, Lilith, I don't want to spoil anything, but like in Borderlands 3, she's not even in the game anymore. Maya's not in the game anymore. Roland died in Borderlands 2. Like, they can't ruin it.
They can't ruin it. They're dead to me.
They can't ruin like characters that aren't in the games anymore.
Well, they could try.
I mean, they could try. Borderlands 2 is still my favorite game of the series, but like I play Borderlands 3 a lot. So, like I said, it's not gonna ruin. Which is like, it's very different of me, right? Because if like something comes out like for a series like adjacent to something I love, it kind of like muddies the waters of what I love. But like not this one. It just doesn't for me.
You know what? I believe you, and I am not going to watch it. Obviously,
watch anything. I didn't expect you to watch it.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to get me to a theater, and Borderlands is not going to do it.
What if it comes to streaming?
No, probably not that either.
Oh, you're such an ass! I fucking hate you.
Like I said, like there's something about watching a movie where I'm like, ugh, I gotta sit here for 2 hours and pay attention for 2 hours.
We just sat here for 2 hours.
I know it's been a nightmare the whole time.
Every time, fuck you. Every time we play Fortnite, we do it for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's much easier to pay attention to that. Can't explain why.
It's just real fun.
I just having a great time. Fee, listen, I'm about to tell everybody everything.
Oh God, no! Porn.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. I love you. And I hope that you check us out at youtube.com/@GoGettasPodcast, where you can find our podcast every week, except for this previous week because I was too sick. Sorry about that.
I was sick.
And you can get all of our podcast episodes that come out on Wednesdays at like noon Pacific. But if you want to catch the audio version, it actually comes out with better audio quality and earlier in the day at like 5 a.m. Specifically so that you can listen to it on your way to work. And you can also catch clips of the show going up on our TikTok and our YouTube. We do YouTube Shorts, so some of the best stuff is in there. But guess what? Guess what?
What?
The real thing cannot be substituted. And speaking of the real thing, if you want to listen to the episode come out before it actually comes out, you can listen to us record it live on Twitch, twitch.tv/GoGettasPod.
Yeah, do that. Oh, wait, is it my turn?
It is your turn. I'm done, Fee.
Oh, you bitch! Here's what I want you to do. I want you. I want you to get your 3 best friends. If you got more than that, kill one. Um, I want you to get your 3 best friends. I want you to fly to the moon with weapons, and I want you to look for. I want you to look for a vault that I put up there.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I put it up there.
Okay, great.
I want you to look for the key to get into the vault, and then when you open the vault, it's just gonna be a small town in Texas with 2 stripes,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to go get them.
Go get him. That's
I don't know.
This sounded like
I
it was
don't-
winding up to something amazing, and then
It was. I didn't know where to go from there.
you said, "You know what? I've run out of steam. This joke is over."
It is, and it was, and I did. So fuck you.
That's
That's
You said, "All right." Three men walked into a bar, and they ordered a round.
they just.
You read One Piece this week, or
I haven't yet. I will do it after the podcast, but like, God, I lost steam because I'm excited because my sister's bringing me Bob's.
oh. For everybody that doesn't know, that means breakfast on a bun. It's a South Texas thing. I have tried to use the word Bob other places in Texas with Whataburgers. Guess what? They don't know what I'm talking about.
I hate that.
I hate them.
Everyone visit Texas, go to Whataburger, get a Bob, fucking thank me later. Goodbye.
Damn, bye.